Hello. In this video, we're going to work a little bit with the lung and large intestine meridians, which, as I mentioned in the text, are located largely in the arms. And the lung meridian has mostly to do in terms of the acupuncture points that are used to address lung issues. Large intestine meridian is not so much used for large intestine issues, digestive issues, but more for problems with the shoulder, head, neck tension, headaches, that sort of thing. And as we explore this meridian, you'll kind of get an understanding of why that is, how they're related. So first, by way of touring and self-massage, we will explore where these meridians are. So beginning with the lung meridian, and the lung meridian begins, and just so you know, like all the meridians are mirrored from the left to the right side of the body, so it's the same on either side. The lung meridian begins just below the outer edge of the collarbone. So if you take one hand, you can take your fingertips here, trace your collarbone out to where it meets the shoulder, and then you come right below that. There's a little valley there, a little soft valley that is typically your pectoralis muscle. You just massage in there, and you might feel a little tenderness, which is very common. This is where lung 1 begins, Zong Fu as it's called. And this is a point, it's a very powerful point used in lung issues, coughing, to bring phlegm up, that sort of fun stuff. So we just begin there, we're just feeling around, massaging small circles if you want to tap it a little. Just it feels like it's stagnant or congested or whatever, which typically this area is, just by, mechanically, because we're often sitting with our arms internally rotated, compressing this tissue, contracting that muscle, kind of pinching off circulation, lymph flow, all of that. So just being aware that this is also a really powerful channel for energy from the lungs. All right, let's do both sides there, just to get a feel for it. Sometimes one will be a little more tender than the other. Do both at the same time, right? All right, so I'm going to do this very generally. I'm not going to get too specific with where these points are, but just thinking about your hand or your arm in what we call anatomically neutral position. So the elbow pit and the soft part of the arm is facing forward. This is the more yin side of the arm. And the lung meridian travels along that part of the arm. Now it comes up over the crease of where the the armpit is, and we're going to call this the top corner. So it's this front part of the arm, but it's on the top part. So in other words, it's not going down the center of the arm or on the bottom. It's going along what we call the top. Over that, where the elbow crease is, it's along the top of that, down the top of the forearm, over the tattoo, kind of more along the radial side of the arm. So the radius is the bone that connects. It's one of the two bones in the forearm that is closest to the thumb. All right, so let's find that, and you can, again, we can massage that. So if you want to trace it with small circles, if you want to trace it with patting, not patting, down to your thumb, because that's where it ends. Let's do that a few times. Just really feel activating and moving that energy down from the lung down through the arm. You can do it with some nice massage, some rubbing. Warm up the skin, and then some massage in the thumb. So you get a feel for that? That nice flow down to the thumb. All right, let's do the other side. So finding that point just under the collarbone. There's actually two lung points there, 1 and 2. And again, they come up over the shoulder, along the arm, above the elbow, above the other tattoo. All right, do some circular massage here. Sorry, I had an itch. All right, some rubbing, warm it up. Feel that opening, front of the shoulder, down to the thumb. And then we can give a little massage to the thumb. All right, so that's the lung meridian on both sides. Now the large intestine meridian picks up. So lung meridian ends here, large intestine meridian begins at the index finger, and it goes back up the arm. So that's generally how the meridians travel. They kind of make a loop from out to one extremity, down to the feet, back up to the arms. It's kind of cool that way. All right, so large intestine meridian begins with the index finger, and it's going to traverse along the outer part of the arm. So, and also along the top corner. So we're still staying along that radial edge there. So it's going to come, so we're starting at the index finger, sorry. Index finger, it's going to cross through that little meaty section there when you stick your thumb close to your palm and that little fleshy bit pops up. That's large intestine 4. And some people do know this as a popular point to rub if you have headaches. It's an anesthesia point. It also helps with tension, and I think it helps with headaches that come from tension that usually begin in the arm, travel up to the shoulder and into the neck. It is a point that is usually contraindicated in pregnancy because it's a very powerful opening up all of the gates kind of a point. So just being aware of that. And it's going to come again along the wrist, on the outer part of the forearm. Now, if you want to use some little deeper massage here, it's a little less tender, but no, I shouldn't say that. It can actually be a little bit more tender, but it tends to be stronger. So as you come up to the elbow here, like just clench your fist and you can really feel that muscle popping under the fingers. And if you want to give some extra massage in there, you can even use a technique that we call henpecking. So you take your fingers together and just give a little percussion into that area. This can really help open up shoulder tension because it's all along, it's the same muscle chain. It's not the same muscle, it's a chain of muscles and a chain of fascia that tends to be all related. When there's tension in the arms and in the neck and the jaw, everything locks up. And I find this to be very common with folks who talk about, carpal tunnel issues, certain types of headaches. I can follow that tension all the way down the arm. All right, so we're coming up through the biceps and then across the shoulder again. So where the lung kind of came down closer to the crease here, large intestine comes up above it and crosses the shoulder joint here. And this can be a very tender spot too, as a lot of tendons come into this part of the arm. So this can be a little bit of an owie spot. So just gently massaging in there. It is important to keep that open in terms of connective tissue, because this is where your issues like frozen shoulders start. All right, we're going to come along the front of the trapezius and then up along the front of the SCM muscle, the sternocleidomastoid muscle, which is that big muscle that connects from the collarbone up to behind the ear. Nice big strong muscle there. And so just very gentle palpation up about halfway through the jawline. It crosses over, sorry, my video camera's backwards, crosses over to the side of the nostril here. That's where large intestine meridian ends at LI20. All right, so let's do the other side. So again, index finger. Sorry if I'm stuttering a little. This is like my 27th take of this video. If you want to spend a little extra time massaging in that large intestine 4 point, and across the wrist, up the forearm, a little henpecking, and then up the arm. You can massage, you can pat, you can poke. Anything stimulating and breaking up the stagnation is fine. And then up across the trapezius, and then the SCM, and then to large intestine 20. That's a good look there, right? All right, so this is a good point too. You can use your pinkies here and just kind of pressing along either side of the nostril for relieving congestion. All right, so let's follow that up again. One more time on each side. A little bit of slapping all the way up to the shoulder, back down. Going the wrong way. So I'm going to start from lung 1 and go down the front of the hand, front of the arm, and then up the back to the shoulder. And then a little bit of twisting, rubbing the muscle, rubbing the fascia. And then the other side, starting from the lung point down the arm. And a little bit of massage. Warm it up, rub the skin, bring that circulation up to the surface, rub the hands, shake them out. Okay. All right, just a quick little breathing exercise here. Now that we have our arms loose, channels are open, and hopefully we've opened up some of the tissue in here. So again, as a means of sort of countering some of the stagnation and stuckness that can happen from being in these internally rotated positions and also locked up, just going to do a little bit of gentle breathing to open up, using your upper arm rotation to just open up the tissue, the fascia, the muscular attachments under the collarbones and even into the sternum a little bit. So just bring your awareness to those areas, okay? So we're going to start with the inhale, and as we inhale, we're just going to gently turn the arms out, trying not to raise the shoulders while you're doing it. You can bring the shoulder blades back, but try not to bring them up to your ears. So again, a nice opening here with the inhale. Exhale, round the arms forward, and then a little bit of pull of the shoulder blades open up the mid-back. Breathing in. See if you can feel that connective tissue relationship between fronts of the shoulders, top of the breast, into the sternum, moving all of that tissue, which again is full of lymph nodes, lymph vessels. Nice breath in, and a nice breath out. And you can continue doing that if you like. I'm going to show you one more stretch, but whatever feels good. You can always come back and do it anytime. This is always available to you for a feeling of relief. All right, last stretch we will do, and this is for also activating the lungs and large intestine meridian in the arms. And we're going to use, where with the last one we used a little bit more of a floaty move. With this one, we're going to use a little bit more tension building up in the arms. Imagine pushing out pillars from side to side. Sometimes I call this the Samson move. Breathing in, release the arms, release the tension in the arms. Breathing out, pushing away. Feeling that breath coming out from your chest, through your arms, through your palms. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And the next breath, nice, gentle, normal breath. And we're just going to pause with the hands here, release the shoulders. You can sometimes feel a little bit of that tingliness moving through the hands, moving through the fingers and the arms. All right, let's do that one more time. Breathe in, breathe out. In, breathe out, push those palms away, breathe in, and breathe out. Come back, pause, feel, note to self how that feels, and we'll let the arms relax. Sometimes a way to release tension is to create the tension and then let it go. Kind of like an isometric type of movement can sometimes help release muscle tension. So let's just shake the arms out. And that's pretty much what I have for you today. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, just remembering that, we get into these contracted Hulk Hogan positions here, that countering that with occasional opening up the chest is going to be great for just refreshing your brain, for reminding your shoulders that they can move in that direction. And it's an expression. I mean, look at that. What does this communicate to you? This is an expression of trust and openness. And trust is one of the emotions associated with the metal element. Trust, being able to let go, with the awareness that you can always pull back in. You have that control. You are safe within your skin. It is your choice, but just remembering to exercise your sense of trust from time to time. All right, well, I hope this was good for you, and if you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, and I will see you next time. All right, take care and howla.